Okay, today I'm going to read two little stories about a donkey. Jemima's cousin. Jemima the donkey worked very hard. She was beautiful and very strong and spent every day pulling a cart for the farmer. The cart was loaded with flour from the mill, and it was Jemima's job to pull it up the steep hill to the farm. She loved helping on the farm, but there was one amazing thing she enjoyed even more, and that was watching the amazing animal show whenever it came to town. That night, the farmer took his animals to the local village to see the show. Jemima was more excited than usual because her cousin Zanzibar, the zebra, had travelled from Africa to perform for them. The crowd cheered and clapped as Zanzibar raced around, danced, and did some somersaults. Then came his most amazing trick, the tightrope. With his eyes closed, he trotted along the fine wire, high above the stage floor, before leaping into the air to thunderous applause. When the show was over, Jemima went to see her cousin and tell him how she wished she could do tricks like that. "It takes a lot of practice to do great tricks," said Zanzibar, "but if you practice really hard, then maybe one day you can become great." "That would be wonderful," said Jemima. "But what trick could a donkey like me possibly do?" "Why don't you try juggling?" suggested Zanzibar. "Here, juggle with these 3 bread rolls." Zanzibar gave Jemima 3 rolls and she started throwing them into the air. At first she didn't catch any, but after a while Jemima got very good. "Wonderful!" cried Zanzibar. "Now try 4 rolls." Jemima juggled the 4, then 5, and managed 6. "I can't believe I can juggle," said Jemima. "Now for the difficult part," said Zanzibar. "Can you juggle with objects that are different shapes and sizes?" Jemima looked around to find things to juggle with. She picked up 2 eggs, 2 bones, and 2 carrots. The other animals gathered around to see Jemima do her big show as Zanzibar made a loud announcement. "May I present," he shouted, "the amazing, the wonderful, the brilliant, juggling Jemima." Jemima threw all the objects up into the air, but they were very hard to juggle with. Everything came crashing down around her, and the animals ran for cover. "Oh dear," sighed Jemima. "I'm not quite as good at tricks as you are, Zanzibar." "Just keep practicing," her cousin replied. "After all, practice makes perfect." There we go. That's the end of that little story. And just to show you, there's Jemima and her cousin Zanzibar. And there she is again trying with the carrots and the bones and the eggs. Okay, the next story is called Treasure Hunt. It was a lovely sunny day, and Molly, the farmer's wife, had decided to give the animals a treasure hunt. She sat at the big farmhouse table and drew a map. On the map were all the different areas of the farm, with a large red cross marking where the treasure chest was. She took the map into the farmyard and the animals gathered around it. "Whoever finds the hidden treasure first gets to keep it," Molly declared. The animals looked at the map very carefully. "I think the treasure's over there," whispered Percy the pig. "Shh," said Hector the dog. "Don't tell everyone." "Are you ready?" shouted Molly. The animals snorted, barked, and grunted. "Good," she said. "Then go and find the treasure." They all rushed off in different directions, checking the stables, the barn, behind the trowels, and around the wall. But the treasure chest was nowhere to be seen. Meanwhile, George the farmer looked on. He quite fancied the treasure for himself. Daniel the donkey looked at the map once more. Then he had an idea. "Maybe the treasure chest isn't in the farmyard," he thought. "It could be in the field." So Daniel quietly went off to look. "Where's he going?" whispered Hector. "Maybe he's found a clue," replied Percy. "Let's follow him." So all the animals and George secretly followed Daniel. Then, behind a tree, Daniel spotted something glistening. "The treasure!" all the animals shouted as they all came rushing to Daniel's side. "Well done," cried George the farmer. "You found it." "Unfortunately, it's not real treasure," he continued as he peeled the gold away. "It's chocolate coins. Animals can't eat chocolate, so I better eat them all myself." The animals were shocked and amazed, but George was a very happy man. And there we go. And there you can see there's Daniel and Percy and the farmer, and there's the treasure, and there's George eating the chocolate. Well, I hope you like those little stories. I'll do some more again at some point later in the week. Have a good day.